Yo, it's your boy Danopps Ent, man, back with another video for y'all. And today I want to talk about this whole Joe Rogan thing going on. Okay, so if you don't know what's going on with Joe Rogan, or first of all, if you don't know who Joe Rogan is, basically he's like this guy. He's like a white guy, comedian. He does a podcast. I've seen some of his stuff. I'm not like really a fan of it. But, he's had some guests appear on his podcast, celebrities and stuff like that. He's had some segments that I've kind of checked out just to, kind of tune in and see what he's talking about. But, I digress. So, basically, if you don't know what's going on, so for over the past few couple days, Joe Rogan has been getting a lot of flack for clips resurfacing of him saying the N-word on his podcast. And like I said, I don't really follow his podcast too much, but there is a montage video on YouTube. I'll try to put it in the description of this video. There's a montage of this man using the N-word. Like, I don't know, it had to be almost, I think it's like 10 plus times. Like he's used with the hard ER, mind you, the hard ER. Okay, not just saying nigga, he's saying nigger, okay, on his podcast, like 10 plus times. It might even be 20, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm gonna try to put it in the description so y'all can see it for yourselves. But basically, so, he's been getting a lot of outrage for that. Some people might even say it's cancer culture. Now, Joe Rogan's defense and a lot of his fans' defense is that the clips resurfacing of him using the N-word with the hard ER were taken out of context, saying we don't know the context of the way that he was saying it. Okay. But so, okay. All right. I can throw you that bone, right? Because listen, the N-word, for all intents and purposes, is a part of history, okay? It's in books, it's in movies. We've all read books that use the N-word. We've all seen movies where characters use the N-word. You know what I'm saying? But that's fine. If we're talking about educational or literature purposes, you know what I'm saying? That's understandable. That's a whole different subject. That's a lot different from you sitting in a chair in a studio with your boys or your podcast members, whatever the fuck, and you guys are just talking, shooting the shit, and you're just like, nigger this, nigger. That's not okay. That's no. I don't give a fuck what the context is. And why do you have to use the hard ER every single time? Why can't you just say N-word? You know what I'm saying? And you know what? This shit gets me hot. All right, let me slow down. Okay, so let me switch gears a little bit. Okay. So listen. Joe Rogan, he has a lot of people that are defending him. Longtime fans of his podcast saying, oh, Joe Rogan's not a bad person. It's just being taken out of context. And if you saw the full clip, But here's the thing. The problem, and I hear that, right? I fully understand that not just being a person who isn't black, that just because you say the N-word doesn't automatically equate you to being racist. I understand that. I just want to make that clear. I understand that using the word doesn't automatically mean that you're a racist. But at the same time, use some goddamn common sense. If you are not black, don't say the N-word. How hard is that? Or if you, and look, if you do say the N-word, if you don't have the right context behind it, if you don't have a good excuse, you are going to deal with some consequences. In the real world, there are consequences. People, either you're gonna offend lots of black people in the world. You know what I'm saying? If you go out in the real world and you call somebody the N-word, or you say the N-word around people of color, and you yourself are not a person of color, someone might try to step to you and fight you. That's just how it is. That word is a very sensitive subject. It's a very touchy word that you should not use if you're not black, unless you have a very fucking good reason. Like I said, if you're using the word for educational or literature purposes and you are a person who is not black, that is more understandable. But you cannot just use that word loosely for shits and giggles and not expect any kind of pushback. Now, I also want to speak on something else. So, a common argument that I'm hearing from a lot of people is, a lot of people like to say, black people say nigga all the time. Nigga this, nigga that, nigga in songs, nigga in movies, nigga, 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 nigga. And you know what? You're right. And then people say, hey, if you don't want white people to say it, if you don't want any other races to say it, black people themselves should stop saying it. And you know what? In theory, that's true. I'll give you that. In theory, that is true. I agree. If we truly do want other people of other races to stop saying it, then yes, black people as a whole collective, we should stop saying it. But these are the sad realities of life. Well, hold on. One, you know what? Yeah, these are these are the sad realities of life. One, the N-word has a lot of historical significance to it. Okay? I'm not going to get into slavery and all that stuff and, you know, civil rights. That's a whole different rabbit hole. But for over 400 plus years, the word nigger, we were called niggers, right? That word was used to insult us, to oppress us, to classify us as less than human, okay? And over time, right, throughout all the years, black people were able to turn that against our oppressors. We were able to turn that into sort of kind of like a badge of honor. You know, it's almost like if you go into the woods and you fight a bear, right? You fight a bear and he slashes you in your eye, and now you have a scar going down your eye, you know, but you killed the bear though, you know, you killed the bear. So even though now you are, you know, scarred for life, you can wear, you know, there some people, you know, not everyone, some you can wear that scar as a badge of honor. Like, yeah, you know, I went into the woods, I faced the bear, I beat his ass, you know what I'm saying? I got him, I killed it. You know, he got me in the eye, you know, he got me good. But, you know, when you look at that scar, you will always remember that situation that you went through in the woods with the bear. You were able to kill it. You conquered that situation. You came out the victor. You won. You slayed the beast. Okay, that might be a weird analogy, but that's the best way I could come. That's kind of like what the N-word is for us. When you see black people say, yo, what's up, nigga? Hey, nigga. It's like that word used to be something very, just like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Listen, that the N-word, we've earned every right to say the N-word. Black people as a whole, like my ancestors, they earned that right. And through time, through bloodlines, I have that fucking right to say it. I can say it because I'm black if I choose to. If you are not a person of color, listen, we live in a country of free speech. You can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. But when you piss off an entire nationality, don't fucking cry about it. And for all you Joe Rogan defenders, that's cool. Y'all can defend him. It's cool. Do you. But you also have to ask yourself, Joe Rogan is a grown-ass man. He's not a little kid, okay? He's not a little kid in elementary school or middle school or high school. He's a grown-ass man. He's lived on this planet long enough to know what he should say and what he shouldn't say on this podcast.